Nick is developer of Neo the Legend. Nick, are you there?
Yes, yes. How's it going?
Hey, Nick, how are you?
Good, good. So we actually have Fernando jumping on as well. I'll just kind of
Oh, you
kick
do?
off from
Great.
here.
Perfect. I wasn't sure. So we'll have Nick and Fernando of Neo the Legend, and I assume it's not 3 in the morning where you're at, right?
No, it's not 3 in the morning.
Good. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Then why don't you just go ahead and follow suit? Tell us a little bit. Just about 2 minutes. A little background on yourselves, and then go right into Neo the Legend.
Sure. So yeah, I basically started trading about 7.5 years ago, and it was something where I was actually in school, and I'll never forget the day I went to Cornell in New York, and I remember I had an engineer next to me, and I saw him make $300 in an hour. At that time, I was working a part-time job making minimum wage, so that piqued my curiosity. And over the last couple of years, jumping into retail trading, and it obviously piqued my curiosity, but there was a point where I realized that you could actually use algorithms, you can use EAs to automate it. So about 2.5 years, I realized that was the future. And I believe that today, even with retail trading, I still trade manually, but even with those positions I'm taking, I want to back that up with, data. And I think that that's something that it's the future. So, over the last 2.5 years, I started working with Fernando. We've built a ton of different EAs, and with what we're launching with you guys, it's the best. It's the ones that I personally would trade my own capital with. And originally, when we developed Neo the Legend, it was a system that we wanted to be pretty hands off. We wanted to go ahead and develop something where it was able to adapt to current market conditions and take into consideration time of day. It has really, really advanced risk management settings, but overall it is a trend trading system. And as some systems maybe scale into positions in losing scenarios, this is something that will scale into positions as that trend plays out. So originally when we developed it, it was for larger accounts. As we're working with you guys, testing and getting a hold of those results on smaller accounts is something that we're working on. And we actually added another feature, which is the intraday trader, which uses different principles to trade. But the combination of these two are work to work simultaneously together, so that you guys as users can actually have that smooth equity curve and see those smaller wins from the intraday trader, as well as like those larger wins that would happen with Neo. And we'll go ahead and pull up, a bit of, I think, Fernando, are you on here?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
There we go. Hey, everyone. Just to give a little bit of myself and my background, I started trading maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And I started trading about the same situation as Nick did. I started trading when I was in high school. And basically, I just wanted to search or to look for a way to diversify income, which I think it's one of the biggest and most important things on any business, and also that applies into trading. And that takes me to where Nick left off, and that's actually that when you're a trader and when you're a manual trader, you notice that some pairs do best for you, some other pairs do don't good. Doesn't do that well for you. And one of the biggest advantages that we have is that once we started developing Neo, we thought about this and started thinking about, okay, we have a really nice strategy that performs really well. And I'm going to share this screen right now so you guys can take a look at it. As you can see, the strategy did really, really good, but often it had these down periods, and we're talking about really high back quality data right here. We're talking about a 90% data quality that goes back from 2008, right at the financial crisis. Time of the of the past. It was through a very hard time, when we were talking about the general market situation and stuff. And the strategy, helped through pretty nicely. As you can see, it took a 10K account to almost half a million during the back test, obviously. with a very, okay, we have a nice strategy that holds up through really hard market conditions. But then we start having periods where the strategy doesn't do that well, and we have a bunch of back-to-back losing trade, which is normal as with any trading strategy. But we were looking for ways to improve that. And then we started doing also adaptations for other currency pairs, such as, for example, the GBP Swiss franc. That last one was on gold. And as you can see, this one is a very smooth ride, but it has the downside of it being less frequent on the trading. As you can see here on the last 12 years of, actually 13 years of market data, we have 1,600 trades. On gold, we had, let's see, 2,700 trades. And then we just kept this process going and came across the intraday mode, which is working on the Great British Pound Canadian dollar, which actually this one does use recovery techniques and does use cost averaging to trade. When we're talking about the pairs like GBP Swiss franc, or we're talking about gold, we're talking about the scaling with the position. We're following the trend, and therefore we want to scale as the trend goes in our favor. Where on the intraday mode, we do use greed, we do use cost averaging techniques to, have a smoother ride. And as you can see here, we have a way higher win rate. We have a relatively nice number of trades. We have 2,300 trades within the last 12 years of data. And also, this is a test going all the way back from 2008. So it's very robust. And it still made a very nice amount of profits. And the biggest thing here is that the intraday mode, we made it to where it's able to run on accounts as small as $500. And it still made a very nice performance. As you can see here, it took $500 back on 2008 and took it all the way up to about 30K. And obviously, all these results are simulated results, obviously. So we have to also take a look at how the strategy performs in a live condition. And actually, we do have a very nice example about how this strategy complements each other on the live audited accounts. We can start here, as you can see. One second. We can start here, as you can see, with an account that started a few days ago. It started really nicely. We had a loss during the all these things about the Brexit, because that involves the Great British Pound Canadian dollar. And it might see right now that the strategy is not that good because you have a big losing, a big losing trade. But as you have, as you leave the time to go by, you have, for example, this other account that goes back a little bit further in time, where you have the same lots that we have right here. It had a faster recovery because it's used in obviously multiple strategies, and we actually had another losing trade right here. So it's not a perfect strategy. It's a strategy that looks at the market and says, okay, I need to take a loss, not big deal, let's move forward. But it does that to protect the entire account. And when you add this up on a long enough time period, you get to a result like this, where you have a very steady growth, slow and steady on your account. You eventually hit, periods where either the intraday strategy or Neo on its main trend trading mode takes a couple of losses here and there, but overall the growth of the account is steady, and we're not looking for like making 100 or 200% return in a month. We're looking for a strategy that can hold up pretty much in any market conditions, and we can back that up not only with trading accounts that were live during the pandemic, that were live during certain news that came out lately regarding the Brexit, but also we can back that up with a very, very robust back testing that we have done, and obviously a bunch of Monte Carlo simulations and stress testing, basically the strategy, making it go through financial crises such as 08, 09, going through, for example, weird stuff happening with oil, actually negative prices with oil as we had earlier this year, going into the new crisis that we're on about the pandemic, and still came over that. So we have a very nice group of strategies that complement each other in such a way that you can expect to have outstanding results out of diversifying your trading. And you can actually use this with other strategies. You can use this with manual trading. So it's not a thing where you can only use Neo and nothing else, but you can complement with your trading if you like analyzing the markets or if you like to run other systems. So I think that's kind of a nutshell about what Neo is and what, pretty much what we do and a bit of our background.
All right, great. Nick, did you have anything to add or talk about?
I would say the main thing that the mindset that I use when I use anything like this for any of the other softwares is when you guys are using this, we have pretty much pre-programmed, at least in ours, it's hard coded for the risk management side. But, I definitely understand that these softwares and our software, it's going to have periods where it does really well. But I try to think really long term with using this. And it's something where, like Fernando said, we're looking to have small gains that compound over a long time period. And overall, when you guys are looking to use these strategies, it's something where you want to definitely have that. And, whoever you're showing these softwares to, but I think that pretty much summarizes it.